There's the crystal father prophecy. Oh man, I'm eating some hot Cheetos right now. Um, so as you can see, flaming hot Cheetos. But anyways, man, how's everybody doing? All right, so let me cut to the chase. Okay, so I'm on a, you know, I'm on the NFC East Talk Trash group on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And we share other posts in other groups, right? And I came across a post that said, "Happy birthday, Odell Beckham Jr., the greatest wide receiver in New York Giants history." Now, it's going to turn a lot of heads because Odell wasn't really that great for us at all. I don't believe he had a winning. I don't believe he had a winning record with us while he was here in his prime. He broke a lot of records, which obviously you do in the NFL. Once you come here, whether it's defense or offense, you break records. You know what I'm saying? And he broke a lot of records. If you compare him to the receivers that was playing at the time, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, and himself. He was never top three. He was always top five. He was always top five. They always put him they always put him at number four. Behind DeAndre Hopkins. You know, but I don't consider Odell Beckham Jr. the greatest wide receiver of New York Giants history. No sir, no sir. If you're talking about the greatest New York Giants wide receiver in history, you have to go way back. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I wasn't born when those receivers for the New York Giants was playing, but they, paved the way. You know what I'm saying? You look at Toomer, you look at Plaxico Burress, you look at Steve Smith, our Steve Smith, number 12. You look at Hakeem Nicks, you look at Mario Manningham. Yes, those guys I mentioned had little success with the New York Giants, stat-wise. But production-wise, yes. You can say, well, you know, Manningham, he was what Odell Beckham Jr. was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying to compare Manningham to Odell, because both of their plays were different. You know what I'm saying? Their style of play was different. You know? Yes, Mario Manningham was a speedster. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like that one game against the Redskins where Eli Manning threw him the bubble screen. He made like what 3, 4, 5 people miss for the touchdown around 2009. That play was nasty. But the reason why Odell Beckham Jr. cannot be the greatest wide receiver of all time is because he wasn't successful here. He really wasn't. Now, a lot of people say, well, he had Eli Manning throwing him the ball all those years, why he was here, which is explainable, right? If we had gone the young wide receiver or young quarterback route, meaning develop and draft a quarterback, then who knows? But then again, Odell went to the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield was twice Eli Manning's age. And he couldn't even get it going over there, So he had to wiggle his way out, go to a team that was already stacked. Obviously Robert Woods went down with a knee injury. He was out for the year. So they had to put Odell Beckham Jr. in, you know what I'm saying? Because Kupp was already doing his thing. and the other receivers that they have, or that they had, obviously was doing their thing. But, you know, Odell just wasn't it, man. Great wide receiver. You know, I'm not going to say great talent, but he was just a great wide receiver, you know. Um, but he just didn't get it done. And that's what we want in New York. We want results, not stats. You know, like, yes, Odell Beckham Jr. was close of breaking Toomer's all-time New York Giants record. I think he was like 3 or 2 touchdowns away from breaking. Toomer had 55. Odell Beckham Jr. had 45, I believe. So he needed, what, 10 more? He needed like 10 more touchdowns to surpass him, which is never going to happen. I don't think any receiver is going to surpass Toomer, you know. Many tried, but only, many tried, but a few succeeded. You know what I'm saying? You look at Toomer, you look at, not Toomer, you look at Plaxico, you look at Hakeem Nicks, you look at Steve Smith, like I said, Mario Manningham. They didn't even crack. They didn't even come close to Toomer. So, now, Hakeem Nicks did have success in the playoffs, though. He had 3 touchdowns. That's still not broken as a giant wide receiver, you know? So I think, when it comes to the New York Giants receiving history or receiving core history, it's deep, you know? But I just think that he's just not it, you know? Maybe if he wasn't such a buffoon and he wasn't really acting right, or he was acting out of character, maybe, throwing Eli Manning under the bus, complaining not getting the ball enough. Just the little things, I mean, we didn't need the headache. Hakeem Nicks never brought that. Victor Cruz, I didn't even mention, didn't brought that, Manningham didn't brought that. Steve Smith, because they're just different characters, They carry themselves a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need a Larry Fitzgerald, not a Odell Beckham Jr., if you get the quote. You know what I'm saying? Or if you get the reference. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need an all-timer, We don't need a wide receiver that's going to be here for like 4 or 5 years and then bounce. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kadarius Toney should have been it, but obviously that wasn't their pick, so I can understand why they moved off of him the way they did, And then obviously if you saw Sunday night football, Kadarius Toney scored his only first touchdown against the Tennessee Titans. You know what I'm saying? But then again, man, like I said, man, people have their opinions. You can leave your opinions down in the comment section down below. Is Odell Beckham Jr. the greatest wide receiver of all time in Giants history? Not all time, but just in Giants history. Because like I said, if you mention New York Giants history, there's a lot of receivers, and I'm pretty sure he surpassed a lot of those receivers in yards, touchdowns, receptions, you name it. Hell, he could have. I think he passed Plaxico. I think he passed Steve Smith. I think he passed Hakeem Nicks. I think he's been past Mario Manningham. Victor Cruz, he even passed. Ingram, Mark Ingram's dad, the running back for I forgot who he plays with now. I think he plays for the Saints. His dad, Mark Ingram's dad, was a New York Giant wide receiver. I'm trying to think of more off the top of my head. I mean, you can say Ruben Randall, you know what I'm saying? Corey Washington, which obviously he didn't really last here. Ramses Barden, he didn't really last here. Dominic Hickson, But he was more of a specialist return, but sometimes we would use him in case Victor Cruz got hurt, which he did. he surpassed them all in every statistical category. But the one thing he didn't pass them was championships. And that's all that matters in sports. Is either did you help your team win, or was you just a distraction? You know? And he was a distraction. And now Giants fans want him back. Like we treating Odell like he's LeBron James. Like every team he goes to, he's automatically going to win him a championship. You see how difference it makes? Now I bet you if Odell Beckham Jr. did not win that championship, there was nobody that was going to contact him with the struggles with his injuries. There was nobody that was going to contact him saying, yo, bro, I need help. You know, that. You know, there's like a lot of rumors going around him going to Buffalo, him going to Tampa, him going back to the Giants. You know, knowing our situation with the receiving core that we have, you know, we just picked up a wide receiver from Buffalo. But one wide receiver is not going to cut it. You know, we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you can hold up to 6 or 7 receivers or 5 receivers in the depth chart. But we're going to need a lot of receivers in this upcoming draft, no doubt about it. I think that's going to be our biggest need, you know, because I think we lead the league in drops. I'm pretty sure. So run one wide receiver or even 2. To be honest with you, I don't think he's going to come back here. After what he did to Eli, throwing him under the bus, he's not going to come back here. John Mara is too faithful. Is too faithful for Eli. You know, Eli is the only reason why he's the owner. Well, not really, but Eli is the only one that kept the Giant afloat. You know what I'm saying? When New York teams were bad, Eli Manning rose to the occasion and won them a championship. Melo failed. Joe Johnson and Darrell Williams failed. You know what I'm saying? The Jets was abysmal. The Yankees was not good. The Mets was not. You know what I'm saying? Just all in totality, New York teams was not good except for the Jets. I mean, except for the Giants. Now you have the Bills that's getting good. You know, so I just think that, you know, once Odell Beckham Jr. did what he did, that bridge is burnt between the owner and the relationship with the player. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he didn't have to do that. You know, he didn't have to throw Eli Manning under the bus. You know, that kind of reminded me of what Tiki Barber did. You know, but obviously, then again, Tiki retired early, and, you know, obviously Odell Beckham Jr. is still in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, just petty stuff, you know. We don't need that. Just draft a quarterback. I mean, just draft a wide receiver like you see other teams do. Groom him, you know what I'm saying? Make sure he's in the right culture, you know, surrounded by great players in the right system, and he's going to blossom, you know, just like how we did in years past. But that's the thing. Brian Dable is not a wide receiver head coach like Tom Coughlin was. You know, he's just an offensive special teams coordinator. You know, that's why we had so many. Why do you think we had so much success with wide receivers in the past? You know, exactly. So I just think that he's not. You know, he's up there for sure. He's up there because of the stats and the accolades and stuff. We're not really accolades, but just the stats, basing off from the stats. Yeah, he surpassed probably, if I had to put a percentage on it, he surpassed probably 60% of the Giants' wide receivers, you know. But in terms of accolades, like he didn't really show for it, you know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, I just think Giants fans are going to have mixed emotions about it, you know. Like, does he deserve to be, does he, doesn't, Does he doesn't? Does he doesn't? Does he doesn't? I said no because, like I said, all that matters is winning. And he didn't win. Odell Beckham Jr. with all those one-handed catches and, you know, 50, 60-yard slants, what does he have to show for it? Not a damn thing. He didn't win it. He didn't win a championship here, Now, if he won a championship here, then I would have said, okay, Victor Cruz won a championship here. Hakeem Nicks won a championship here. Steve Smith, in his rookie year, won a championship. Toomer won his first championship. Plaxico won his, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yo. Like, what are we doing? Like, if this was off of stats, if this was based off of stats, then okay. Like, Odell would have surpassed everybody in stats, because of the production, and Eli Manning was just force feeding him the ball because he was the only deep threat that we had. Not really Randy Moss deep threat, just separation deep threat. Like he could take a 60-yard to the house. But in terms of accolades, he's way down in the bottom. But let me know what you think, man. This is not a video to bash Odell. I'm just saying that he doesn't belong in the New York Giants all-time wide receiver. Because there's different categories. If you want to put him in a category in stats, okay, you got me there. I totally agree with you, But if you want to put accolades, like if you list every New York Giant that we had, New York Giant wide receiver wise, I'm pretty sure everybody had a championship by their name. If you look at Odell, he really doesn't. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.